Floral, dark, potent, and bound to get mixed reactions, I'd say today's drink matches the figure pretty well. Today on Thirsty Thursday Toys, we're taking a look at the hotly debated Ultimates Rose Biollante and making a drink to go with her. To make the Ultimate Rose cocktail, you'll need red, green, and blue food coloring, a rose candy or ice mold, rose liqueur, a dark spiced rum, lemon juice, and ginger ale. Start by making a mini ice rose with some red food coloring and water. Stick a toothpick in there and set it in the freezer. Once it's ready, fill a Collins glass or other tall skinny glass with ice, then add a couple of drops of green food coloring and a single drop of blue food coloring. Pour in 1 ounce of a rose liqueur, 1.5 ounces of a Sea Monster dark spiced rum, 1/4 ounce of lemon juice, then fill it up with about 4 ounces or so of ginger ale. Top that off with your ice rose, and enjoy the Ultimate Rose. Cheers. Okay, so I was gonna start off by saying that there aren't that many Rose Biollante figures, but that's simply not true. Yeah, most of her figures have been candy toys, but she does have some larger marmots and marusans, and she has been getting more love, finally getting a Movie Monster Series 6-inch vinyl. But I feel like many of you would agree that she deserves more. If companies put half the love into Rose Biollante that they do with Shin Godzilla or Hedorah repaints, I would be so happy. One of my dream figures for decades has been an articulated Rose Biollante. Since Monster Arts has been dragging their feet on this for 12 years, Super7 stepped in and gave us what you see before you. I had a whole Monster Arts rant here, but I'll just stick that in the comments for your arguing pleasure. Now, is the fact that I've been wanting this figure for so long gonna cloud my judgment, or is it gonna make me extra critical? Honestly, a little bit of both. Let's start with the packaging. The Ultimates figures always look really good in their boxes, with each package tailored to whatever franchise, and the accessories on full display. If you're a mint in box collector, I don't think you'll be disappointed by this. We've got this slipcover that fits on nice and tight and features this veiny plant design, which actually differs from the Godzilla skin one of the other package. Aside from the name and slipcover, the two packages are identical. It's a little weird that they're calling her Heisei Biollante, since that was the only era in which she appeared, but I guess that extra bit of specificity couldn't hurt. This figure went up for pre-order on the Super7 website mid-May of 2022 and shipped early July 2023. Now, the Ultimates line are supposedly made-to-order figures, but I always see plenty up for grabs long after the pre-order window is closed. I've also seen the figures go for some nice discounts from a variety of retailers, and those discounts definitely help. The Ultimates figures almost always sell for $55 a piece. I say almost because these Toho figures were listed for $85, a 54% price increase. Are they maybe 54% bulkier than your standard Ultimates? Sure, but I've noticed that the smaller the Ultimates figure, the more accessories it comes with, so it looks to me that each Ultimates figure uses a similar amount of plastic in total. The Rose Biollante set weighs around 2 pounds 7 ounces compared to the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord set, which weighs just 2 ounces less, so it's not that. But hold on, you might be thinking, the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord is also a larger figure. Yes it is, and even so, it retailed for the regular price of $55. After shipping and sales tax, I ended up paying just over $100 a piece for these. I can't imagine it's a licensing thing, since their Toho reaction figures cost the same as all the other reactions they put out. Someone explain the cost to me, because either I'm missing something important, or Super7 has been seeing the stupid amount of money we've been dropping on Monster Arts, and decided they could easily raise the cost on us. So, what do we get for our $85 but possibly $100 figure? A truly gorgeous 8-inch Rose Biollante. But hold on, you say truly gorgeous? Did you see the stock photos? And yes, I did. And really, the biggest difference is that she's a darker shade of green. I know people have been losing their minds over the Godzilla, mostly about how glossy it ended up being, but since these two fought in the water, at night, the darker wash and extra gloss works for me. We also got that early video of them, and while Godzilla was definitely less glossy there, the Rose Biollante looks nearly identical, so there was no surprise here. For accessories, she comes with these tendril heads, which I realize is kind of an odd choice since these didn't get blasted off until the fight with her final form, but still a neat addition. While they don't feature articulated jaws like originally advertised, they do come with some extra bits which allow you to plug them into the other vines. a trade-off that I am A-okay with. They don't stay on all that well, but you still get those battle-damaged ends with her bright green acid blood. But wait, there's more! She also has swappable heads featuring her rose mouth open or closed. They can pop on and off from a double ball joint, which gives the heads a nice range of motion. Now, why Super7 insisted on swappable heads instead of jaw articulation here is a mystery to me. Same parts count, but more paint and way more plastic? I don't get it. I don't get a lot of what Super7 does, but they gave us a Rose Biollante, so hey! For the main figure itself, it's hollow and cast in your typical toy plastic. The front half and back half appear to be either cast or painted in slightly different shades of green. Not going to be that much of a problem on the shelf, but that's the kind of stuff that I notice right away. I'm not sure if the vines are an extra soft plastic or an extra hard rubber. For some reason, I expected the vines to have bendy wires. Rereading the description, it simply says articulated. The 4 regular vines have 2 points of articulation at the base where they attach. They can rotate around their plug and have an extra hinge joint there as well, which is nice and tight. Some of the vines were loose, but I realized their pegs weren't pushed in all the way, and that solved the problem. The vines with the heads have 2 extra spots with the same joints for extra posability. These are a little more loose than the lower vines, at least on my copy, but these are the ones that pop out and you can swap in the damaged parts. The regular vine heads have an extra swivel right before the leaves, and there is lower jaw articulation, which is a nice touch, considering that they didn't even give jaw articulation to Godzilla. Moving up toward the leaves, we have a double ball joint here with almost a full 360-degree range of motion. The smallest leaf is permanently attached, but the other 3 have the same type of joints as the vines. These feel a little more fragile to me simply because the pegs are much smaller. Of course, here's where we pop on the head. The head is big and solid, but so is the ball joint, so I'm not worried about this one. And finally, her nucleus is cast in a translucent orange rubber, and it's actually somewhat squishy. But it's a damn shame that it can't light up. The body is big and hollow and could easily house a light up feature. And for the extra $30 that we're paying for these, that should have been included. The original promo pics showed that it was yellow with an orange wash, which really helped the detail pop. But here, it's just the one color. And because it's translucent and hollow, it looks dark in the middle instead of bright like it should. If this thing didn't cost so much, I'd cut out the bottom and stick a light in there. Now, I can't fault it for not having a feature that was never advertised, but having it light up would have been spectacular, and something that I hope Monster Arts does one day. This is also in an 8-inch scale, as opposed to the 6-inch scale of the Monster Arts. Comparing it to the SHMA final form, you can see that the details are softer and the paint seems almost non-existent. But it's not Monster Arts, and it never claimed to be. Until Monster Arts finally gets around to giving us what we've been asking for, the Super7 Ultimates will reign supreme as queen of the Rose Biollante toys. The Godzilla, well, that's another cocktail for another day. I hope you get to hold your own dream figures one day, but in the meantime, thanks for helping out the channel, and please drink responsibly. Oh, and also don't combine things with G-cells, it just won't end well. I mean, seriously, Rose Biollante figures didn't exist when I was a kid, and I had to make this.